Imagine an ordinary American couple, Emily and Michael. Nothing cinematic about them. They both work, they split bills, they argue about small things and make quiet plans for the weekend. Now they stand side by side in a hospital room washed in white light. In Emily's arms, a newborn boy, Ethan. The air smells like disinfectant and warm plastic. Ethan cries. Not beautifully, not symbolically. It's raw. It's the first protest of a nervous system ignited into existence. Another consciousness has entered the arena. He sleeps a moment later. Small, fragile. His skin still wrinkled from the womb. His eyes unable to focus on the world waiting for him. He doesn't know hunger yet, or rejection, or fever at 3 in the morning. He doesn't know the particular humiliation of failing in front of others. He doesn't know anxiety that tightens the chest for no clear reason. He doesn't know that one day he will stand beside the bodies of his parents and feel the floor of reality collapse beneath him. He doesn't know that his own body will betray him, and that is precisely why the scene hurts. Between exhaustion and euphoria, a thought flickers. No prenatal class prepares you for it. Ethan's life will not be made only of birthdays and embraces. It will contain irreversible losses, illness, predictable or not, quiet despair no one can fully enter, perhaps trauma that therapy only softens but never erases, perhaps depression that resists medication, perhaps an ordinary accident on an ordinary afternoon. For a second, Emily looks at Michael. He looks back. They say nothing, but they think it. If he had never been born, none of that could ever touch him. The thought feels almost forbidden. It is quickly buried beneath love, instinct, culture. We call birth a miracle. We decorate it with soft music and filtered photos. They promise to protect him. They promise to do their best. They are sincere. But a question remains, corrosive and quiet. If we know that every life will be pierced by unavoidable suffering, what exactly are we offering when we choose to create another one? This discomfort did not begin online. It did not emerge from obscure forums or modern cynicism. It has trailed humanity for millennia like a whisper we never quite managed to drown out. In the biblical book of Ecclesiastes, the preacher surveys oppression, injustice, and the repetitive exhaustion of life. He concludes that better than the living and the dead is the one who has not yet been born, who has not seen the evil done under the sun. This is not adolescent despair. It is the realism of someone who has outlived illusions. Centuries earlier, Sophocles placed a harsher sentence in the mouths of his characters. The best fate is not to be born at all, and if born, to die soon. Greek tragedy does not romanticize existence. It exposes it as fragile, entangled in forces beyond individual control. In the 19th century, Heinrich Heine wrote that sleep is good, death is better, but the best would be never to have existed. He was not blind to beauty. He was aware of the weight that accompanies awareness. And in our time, David Benatar, in Better Never to Have Been, systematized this intuition. His antinatalism does not emerge from hatred of life, but from a severe form of compassion. If suffering is inevitable, preventing existence prevents harm. This is not abstract. Hundreds of millions live in extreme poverty. Mental disorders affect roughly 1 in 8 people worldwide. Suicide remains one of the leading causes of death among young adults. War has not vanished. Children still die from preventable causes. Chronic pain, autoimmune disease, dementia, addiction, abuse. These are not rare glitches in an otherwise flawless system. The average life is not a heroic arc. It is routine fatigue, intermittent pleasures, mounting responsibilities, repeated loss. So the question stops being rhetorical. If we know that every human will suffer, is it moral to impose that condition on someone who never had the chance to choose? Strip away technical language. Look at it plainly. Benatar calls it an asymmetry, but at heart it is a moral contrast between two absences. If a child is born, that child will experience pain, physical or emotional, minor or catastrophic. The nervous system is not designed for uninterrupted bliss. It is built to detect threat, register loss, and react to deprivation. Pain is not a malfunction, it is structural. Yes, there will also be pleasure, laughter, affection, satisfaction. Now imagine the alternative. The child is never born. In that case, there is no pain at all, no cancer diagnosis, no betrayal, no existential dread at 3 a.m. The absence of that suffering seems good, even if no one is there to celebrate it. What about the pleasure that never occurred? There is no frustrated consciousness deprived of joy. No one exists to miss sunsets or music. The void does not complain. This is the uncomfortable hinge. We treat the absence of pain as unequivocally good. We vaccinate. We install guardrails. We celebrate when a tragedy is prevented. But we do not treat the absence of pleasure in a non-existent person as a moral tragedy. No one mourns the fact that they were not born into a different century as a billionaire. Non-existence does not generate disappointment. Existence, however, guarantees harm of some kind. To reject this argument, we often appeal to hope, or to faith, or to the subjective claim that being alive, despite everything, feels worth it. But feeling worth it is not the same as being ethically justified when imposed on another. Here lies perhaps the most disturbing layer. Consent means saying yes with at least minimal understanding of what one is agreeing to. It means having the real possibility of refusal. No one consents to birth. Existence simply happens. We are thrown into being by decisions we did not make. Usually from love, sometimes from pressure, sometimes from accident, sometimes from longing. Still, it is an irreversible decision made on behalf of someone else, and not a trivial one. It entails guaranteed exposure to physical pain, emotional fracture, aging, and death. It is a lifelong contract without a simple cancellation clause. Some soften this with spiritual narratives. Souls choose their parents. Consciousness selects its challenges. Suffering is pre-agreed upon for growth. These stories comfort. They turn imposition into destiny. But comfort is not evidence. From a biological standpoint, birth means vulnerability. It means dependence, risk of disease, susceptibility to trauma, and eventual decline. These are not metaphors. They are observable facts. When someone decides to have a child, they decide that another person will face all of this. The question is not dramatic. It is direct. Do we have the moral right to impose unavoidable harm on someone who cannot refuse? Now widen the lens. Humanity emits tens of billions of tons of carbon dioxide each year. Atmospheric CO2 levels have surpassed 420 parts per million, the highest in millions of years. Global temperatures have risen more than 1 degree Celsius since the pre-industrial era, intensifying heat waves, floods, droughts, and storms. Species are disappearing far faster than natural background rates. Forests shrink. Oceans accumulate plastic. Coral reefs bleach into skeletal remains. Every new human life enters this system automatically. Even with ecological awareness, existence requires consumption. Food, water, energy, minerals, land. In our current model, to live is to extract. No baby is morally guilty. The issue is structural. Some antinatalists focus on sparing the child from a future shaped by climate instability and geopolitical tension. Others focus on reducing overall harm inflicted on animals and ecosystems by shrinking the human footprint. Different motivations. Same core. Prevent avoidable suffering. To bring someone into the world today is not merely to initiate a biography. It is to insert another life into a planetary system already showing strain fractures. Ignoring that requires more faith than realism. Life is suffering. The phrase attributed to Gautama Buddha is not melodrama. It is diagnosis. To be born is to be vulnerable. Bodies decay, minds fluctuate. Everything loved can be lost. Centuries later, in The Brothers Karamazov, Fyodor Dostoevsky pushes this to its edge. Ivan cannot accept a universe where children are tortured and abused, where innocent suffering is woven into the fabric of reality. He asks what eternal harmony could justify the tears of a single child. This is not theatrical atheism. It is moral revolt. If suffering is not accidental but structural, if it is not rare but pervasive, then perhaps non-existence is ethically safer. Antinatalism does not claim life contains no beauty. It claims that beauty does not cancel guaranteed harm. The problem of evil, already framed by Epicurus, still lingers. If ultimate goodness governs the universe, why is suffering so deeply embedded? Antinatalism sidesteps theology and asks something simpler. Regardless of why suffering exists, should we deliberately generate new beings who must endure it? There is an almost reflexive response to pain. Everything has a purpose. Suffering builds character. It purifies. It awakens. Sometimes that appears true. Some people transmute grief into art, trauma into activism, loss into compassion. Pain can carve depth. But for every story of transformation, there are countless stories of quiet destruction. Not all suffering ennobles. Much of it cripples. Chronic trauma alters brain chemistry. Abuse perpetuates cycles. Depression flattens entire decades. Suicide ends narratives before they stabilize. There is no moral guarantee of redemption. The world is not a balanced spiritual classroom distributing challenges proportionally to resilience. It is uneven. Some are born into safety and support, others into violence and scarcity. Some develop rare diseases in childhood, others age with relative stability. To say pain has a purpose can be courage. It can also be anesthesia. It is easier to speak of growth when it is not your child in irreversible agony. So the question returns, stripped of decoration. If suffering is unevenly distributed, if growth is not guaranteed, if destruction is a real possibility, is it ethical to enroll someone in this game without their consent? Answering requires brutal honesty. Return to Emily, Michael, and Ethan. Ethan will grow. He will laugh at absurd things. He will fall in love and believe briefly that it will last forever. He may build something meaningful. He may comfort someone else. He will also fall ill. He will be rejected. He will bury his parents or be buried by them. He will feel fear. And eventually, he will die. None of this is optional. Antinatalism does not deny moments of beauty. It insists on something harder to ignore. Pain is guaranteed. Pleasure is contingent. Loss is certain. Joy is intermittent. And to impose a condition that includes unavoidable suffering on someone who cannot refuse is, at minimum, morally questionable. Yet there is tension here that resists easy closure. In The Brothers Karamazov, Ivan rejects the world. Alyosha responds not with theory, but with action. He helps. He consoles. He tries to reduce immediate suffering. Perhaps the true divide is not purely philosophical. It is practical. Faced with an unjust game, there are two responses: refuse to bring new players to the table, or remain in the game and attempt to lessen the pain of those already here. Antinatalism leans toward refusal. Humanism leans toward intervention. Between these lies no comfortable middle ground. Each birth becomes a metaphysical statement. To create a child is to declare that conscious experience, despite its cost, is worth the risk. The antinatalist replies, the cost is too high. The hopeful answer, even so, it is worth it. There is no shallow resolution, only a cliff edge. and every decision to have a child is made at that edge, whether we dare to look down or not. Bringing a child into the world is the only decision that creates a brand new person who will guarantee pain, loss, fear, and the slow collapse of the body, just to maybe earn a handful of bright moments that never asked to exist. That's the uncomfortable nerve antinatalism touches. Love doesn't erase the risk, and meaning doesn't refund the damage. It just makes the gamble feel holy. If this video made you pause, you're already part of the rare crowd that actually looks down into the abyss instead of decorating it. If you want to help keep this kind of content alive, consider becoming a channel member. You'll get perks, but more than that, you'll be backing the space where these conversations can exist without apology. And if you want a simple one-time way to say, keep going, you can use super thanks. No pressure, genuinely. Watching, liking, commenting, and sharing already helps a lot. But if you've ever felt that quiet pull to give back to something that gave you words you didn't have, this is your moment.